Welcome back to the award-winning Curvaceous Bounty of Sin City on VegasAllNetRadio.com. Make sure you are at SinCityBounty.com checking us out.
And join the chat. If make an account. If you click on the link that says click here to join the chat, you have to make an account to join the chat. You can watch the chat, though. We have some great chatters in there. Before the break, or during the break, Cali Guy posted, and he said that he would have Christmas at other houses as a child, and they made Santa even more magical because he always knew where it was, and that was proof that he was always watching.
Well, and I had the same experience. We used to live in Texas. That's where I grew up. Most of my life was Texas. And my grandparents lived in Arizona. Both sets of grandparents lived in Arizona. And it didn't matter at which grandparents' house we went to in Arizona, Santa always showed up. Like, presents were always there. And I don't know how the fuck that happened as a kid, and I still don't know as an adult, because they have never clued me in on that. Because I helped pack the car.
They never taught you the secret?
They never taught me the secret. I packed the fucking car. And how all those presents for 3 kids from Santa showed up on Christmas morning.
Maybe there really is a Santa. And
Maybe there is.
Wendy of Neverland said, if we ever spent Christmas away from home, like at Disney World, which Wendy always spends her time at Disney World, we would make sure that our daughter told Santa so that he would know, either at the mall on his lap or with a note that they would, quote, unquote, mail to him.
Well, and I think that's probably what we would do too. And maybe I will just say fuck the whole fucking shebang for Christmas next year. And maybe I'll go rent a lodge somewhere in the middle of a snowy mountain, and we will just go up there, and Santa will come down the chimney in the middle of a lodge.
I'll tell you, after I got divorced the second time, I ran away from Christmas for like 5 years. We took a cruise. We were on a cruise on Christmas. And I would let her open presents before, and I would take a few little things, little trinkets to have for Christmas morning. But yeah, I ran away from Christmas.
Was she old enough to not have to deal with the whole Santa ordeal at that time?
She was probably the first year about 11 or 12.
Yeah. So you could get over the whole Santa.
Yeah, we ran away for Christmas.
One of my best memories of Christmas, and this was when I was probably about 8 or 9. So I was like in that middle range where I believed in Santa, but I didn't believe in Santa. I kind of knew, right, that Santa wasn't real. But my parents one year went either got one of their friends or hired somebody or something to dress up as Santa and come to our house, because they knew that we would be peeking out, and because they had it was like a little house party with a few friends and stuff, wrapping presents and stuff. I know, but they had somebody come in dressed in the red suit with the boots and jingle bells and everything, that came in and pretended to be Santa, laughed like Santa, and we were spying. And we saw this guy, and we got off. It was me, my brother and sister, and we were like excited. And then our dad would yell, "Go back to bed!" And that was it. That was all the part that person had to play. And I knew, no, Santa's not real. But they had this guy show up to play Santa.
Was here! God damn it!
Right. So it was the greatest. I don't know. That was one of the greatest things I think my parents ever did in those terms.
My son just recently was telling me, he goes, Rylan, that's her little guy, is he's going to catch Santa. I said
he's got a plan to catch Santa.
I said he's not going to catch Santa. He says he's really going to catch Santa.
Who's going to catch Santa?
Rylan.
Oh!
He said he's not going to catch Santa. And he goes, Mama, I really think he's going to catch Santa. I said, first off, Santa's one of the most magical creatures on the planet. What makes you think he can catch Santa? I don't know. He's going to stay up really late. I said, didn't you watch Rise of the Guardians? Santa knows the Sandman. He's just going to put his ass out to sleep. He won't be awake when Santa shows up. Oh, yeah, huh? I'm like, yep. He's like,
I think that's the night for sugar-free cocoa, right?
Yeah.
Warm milk, sugar-free cocoa.
Chamomile tea mixed in.
When I was a kid, our family had a crazy tradition on Christmas Eve. We went to Mass, like at 6, 7 o'clock was Mass. And then we went and ate Chinese food. At the same Chinese Eve, and then you went home and went to bed, and Santa came while you were asleep.
Most Asian places are open on Christmas Day and Christmas Eve.
Well, they knew us every year, and not only that, we always ordered from this place. It's like a famous little place in our little town. So anyway, one year, and I was about that age, like I wasn't sure it was Santa or not.
Right in between.
And we were driving home, and my dad always had this little thing that he would drive, and in Michigan it's snow, and so the lights look so pretty. So we'd drive around before we went home and went to bed after dinner and see all the lights. and there was this guy. He had to have been an old drunk, okay? It was snowing, and he was dressed in a Santa suit and walking down the snowy ass cold street. I mean, like a drunk.
Right.
And I remember my dad saying, Santa lost his sleigh. And I remember worrying, like going to bed worried that Santa had lost his sleigh and there would be no presents under the tree.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's funny. Old drunk in
Santa
a
lost
Santa
his
suit.
sleigh. Fucking drunks.
I know. In Centerline, Michigan.
When Wendy says that they're going to have Chinese food for Christmas dinner this year because nobody wants to cook.
Well, see, I got to that point after I, gave up. After I stopped the cruises, okay, ran away. I decided to. Then I stopped making big Christmas dinner. I make breakfast, and I don't want to cook on Christmas Day because I do all that for Thanksgiving and then Christmas morning.
Christmas dinner was never a big tradition at my house either. It was
See, my
Christmas
mother-
dinner was always a big thing for us, except that we had so much turkey and ham at Thanksgiving that we would do something else for Christmas.
fish. I like fish.
I'm doing beef roast this year.
My daughter says if
So-
I stay home and cook, she wants me to actually make stuffed cabbage. But if I do that, I can do that a week before. But we're
Cabbage
getting
is more
close.
of a New Year's kind of thing.
Yeah,
though.
cabbage is New Year's. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
But
New
I
Year's
don't know.
roast.
I don't want to cook dinner. I don't care if we eat.
But you didn't have this tradition of breakfast in the morning.
Now that's a new tradition. Yeah.
Okay.
When I was growing up, my mother has 7 brothers and sisters, and every year it was at a different one's house with all the cousins and
Right.
But now that. I don't know. My daughter doesn't know she has to work. She works retail and in a drugstore, so she has to work Christmas Day. So we don't know what we're doing yet. I know I'm making breakfast. And
Okay.
Santa comes.
And I'm pretty sure I'm going to be doing. No, I'm putting my foot down about that. I'm cooking dinner at the house. You are all welcome to join me for Christmas dinner at the house.
I think I will.
I will make sure that there is a full meal for you because
Okay.
I know that I know you can't do the beef roast because that thing's gonna be marinating in its own juices all fucking day long. But I will make sure that there is an entree there for you.
That's all. I can do all vegetables too, so that's cool. As long as they're not drowning in butter, I'm usually pretty good.
And I'll let you know. Like I said, I have no clue. You know what? I'd rather send everybody away and go to sleep.
Send them over to my house.
I know I started for a couple of years. I did it's like 3 years. I did the tradition of going to the movies on Christmas Day because that's a big thing. That is
Yeah,
a
a
huge
lot of
thing
people
right
do
now.
It's a lot
Yeah.
of Jewish people go to the. Of course, it's been ruined now by all the people who just want to go get a good deal.
From what I understand, the stereotype, that's why Asian restaurants stay open on Christmas Day for all the Jewish people who don't celebrate Christmas.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. We have the past 4 or
Blah, blah,
5
blah, blah,
years
Happy Hanukkah.
gone out for dinner. And my daughter never wants to go through a casino. You can always find a restaurant in
Right.
a casino. So it is very hard to find a restaurant open that's not in a casino. You can get buco de pepo, okay, which there's so many people there. I don't want to do that again.
You got to make reservations like a
Well,
month in advance. for
my
Christmas
favorite.
Day.
I just saw a post on Facebook that my favorite Thai place, We're a Thai, is going to be open on Christmas Day.
Well, and I'll tell
so-
you, last year we went to the Bootlegger, which was very nice for Christmas dinner.
Was it packed?
And it was you had to make reservations, but it was steady.
Right.
Like we got right into our table, and there was about 8 or 10 of us for Christmas dinner last year. And then we went to Texas de Brazil was not open a few years ago. We wanted to do
Right.
that, but we ended up going to Yoli's was open.
Oh, I
so
love
that was
Yoli's.
nice. But it has not been an easy task finding a place open that you don't have to walk through a casino to get to.
For those of you who don't know what Yoli's is, and are local Las Vegans, Yoli's is a Brazilian steakhouse. Good
shit to
stuff.
To die for.
Ramtex said she was eating and you made her spit. Sweet cheeks.
What did I say, Ramtex, that made you spit?
So, what was some of the things that your parents did for you to help you keep believing in Santa Claus? Because we talked about mine, we talked about yours.
Santa showed up no matter where we were. That was one of them. I really kind of stopped. I'll tell you when I stopped believing. I stopped believing in Santa the year we lived in Oklahoma City. Okay, we lived in Oklahoma City for exactly 1 year. We moved like the day after the 1 year anniversary of moving to Oklahoma City. And the reason I stopped believing in Santa in Oklahoma City is because the only thing on my Santa wish list was the 57 Barbie Chevy. The powder blue 57 Barbie Chevy. That was because I've been obsessed with the 57 Chevy Bel Air convertible my entire life.
My dad had one.
I'm I'm so fucking jealous. If I ever get the chance to purchase a restored vehicle, or if I ever get the time to restore a vehicle, that is what I will. That is my ultimate dream car. If anyone ever has 60 grand that they just want to drop in someone's fucking lap, drop it on a powder blue 57 Chevy Bel Air and put it right the fuck in my house.
And put Barbie in the front seat.
And I don't need Barbie. I got Ken. I don't need Barbie. So, sorry. I just went on a roll with that one. That was what I wanted. That was the only thing on my list. It was one thing. Now, I get that it was also the hottest ticket item, but I wrote to Santa in October asking for this fucking thing, right? And I didn't get it. What I got was a letter in my stocking from Santa that he had run out of room for that item for me, and he was going to be bringing it in a couple of weeks, and I never got the fucking car. Never.
So it wasn't a matter of you stopped believing in Santa. You just stopped trusting the motherfucker.
Well, I was so excited about getting this car that I stayed up really late in my bedroom. And I could hear things moving around in there. And the way this house was set up is I could sneak into where the tree was, the room where the tree was, because we had a separate living, like, family room with this giant wood-burning fireplace with a hearth, and it was just Norman fucking Rockwell. It was beautiful. But I was able to peek into that area without someone being in that area knowing I was there. So I heard all the noise, so I run over there and I peek through the slats and the little screen thing that would shut off that area from the living room, and my parents were in there wrapping presents. And so I went back to my room and I laid back down and I'm like, well, maybe they just needed to stay up to wrap their own presents, because they didn't have a lot of presents under the tree for us either. It was mostly our presents to each other or to other people. And then, they kind of snuck past. They had to get past my room to get to their room, and they, kind of peeked in my room and, made sure I was asleep. And then I didn't get the fucking Barbie Chevy. And
Barbie Chevy.
I'm still pissed that I never got that fucking thing. And you can't even you can't get them on eBay anymore for anything less than a couple $100 now. So it's not like I could get one just to get one to say I finally fucking got one, fucking Santa. But that was when I stopped believing, because Santa did not get me the one thing I asked for, which is why when my kid asks for one thing, like he has only asked for one thing for the last 2 years, this is what I want from Santa. Santa fucking gets it. If
that's right. I agree.
If that means Santa's got to go stand 4 hours at 2 a.m. on Black Friday at Toys R fucking Us to get it, Santa fucking gets it.
Beat down some other mothers?
I will beat down a little old fucking lady.
Yeah, see, Grandma's got to come through with a bike this year.
Ah.
Yeah.
So...
And it's only one thing. They're only allowed to ask for one thing. Do you make that stipulation? You're only allowed to ask for one thing from Santa.
No, I let my kid ask for... I limit it to 10. Because Santa...
Do you get all 10 things for him?
No, because he never asks for 10.
See, I limit the Santa 5. But then Grandma goes crazy. Mom goes crazy.
Yeah, but do you get all 5 things that he asked for? Because that's, in today's day and age, if they're asking for iPads and smartphones.
No, he knows, number one, that big ticket items like that's not the spirit of Christmas. What you're wanting from Santa, that's something that I've had so many discussions with him about what Santa can bring and what he can't bring, what he will bring, what he won't bring. What Santa brings is rewards for being a good kid all year long. And a big ticket expensive item like an iPad or something like that, that's not a reward for being a good kid all year long. What Santa brings you fun things like toys and games, and he does not bring you socks, Grandma. Santa does not send socks. Santa also does not have a pressurized compartment on his sleigh for animals. So Santa does not bring, because I will take it back that my kid has asked for 2 things this year, and one of them was a puppy, and that's not happening.
Speaking, and since you brought that up, do not give animals as a gift this year. Please do not.
No. Do not equate pets with toys. They are not toys. No. They are living beings that need to be loved and cared for.
I know I've been asking, I'm dreading that my mom might go get me a cat, even though I know that I've been talking about getting one.
I found the perfect cat for you, and I really think I'm going to get it for you.
Well, see, don't get me a cat, because I'm not ready for a cat yet. That's why I haven't gotten my own cat yet.
Yeah,
you will be ready for this cat.
No, people need to buy their own animals when they're ready.
Or adopt their own animals when they're ready. So,
or rescue.
Do not give an animal as a gift. I don't care how tempted you are.
Yeah, don't do it. But anyway, so Yeah, so Santa doesn't bring like big expensive things like that. He brings, although this year he's bringing him a Nintendo 3DS, which is not cheap, by the way. But he only asked for that and a puppy, and since no pressurized compartment on the sleigh for live animals, he's getting the Nintendo 3DS.
Pressurized compartment.
Pressurized compartment.
That comes from a nerd house.
Yes, it does.
And do you know that my son understood that? But somebody said, I mentioned that to someone, and they were like, well, what about the reindeer? I said, fuck, the reindeer are magical. They don't need a pressurized cabin.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly.
They're fucking
They're made to
I made a Slipnir reference in regards to the reindeer that recently, and I was at a table full of white females, and none of them knew what I was talking about. You don't know who Slipnir is, do you?
No.
It's Odin's 8-legged horse, which is where we get the 8 reindeer from for
Right.
Santa Claus.
Yeah, we know all the Santa lore.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
All of them.
I was told one year not to tell my niece
about Slipnir?
Santa, about the origin of Santa and where
Okay.
it comes from. I was specifically took aside and said, "Don't say anything." I said, "If she asks me, I'm telling her. I'm sorry. I'm not lying to the kid, but I will talk about Odin and Krampus and Black Pete and Slipnir and all those fuckers with the long white beards that
And
carry around
Lava-
hammers and battle axes."
And La Befana.
Mhm.
Cannot forget La Befana.
La Befana, which
I
is
did-
more of a January thing, but
It is more of a January thing, but it all ties into that whole New Year, rising of the sun kind of thing.
I'll go take a break, guys. Let me know when you're off this topic.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Well, we're talking about the pagan roots of Christmas.
I knew that,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Like all the ones that the Christians stole, like the tree and the lights and all
right,
that stuff. so.
because the birth of Jesus actually happened in March.
Yeah, I know. It
Or
doesn't
April
happen
or
at
July or
Christmas.
something,
They
yeah.
just,
Yeah, well,
they just stole the holiday to
there's-
celebrate.
there's a lot. Well, no, they stole the holiday to convert pagans. That's
Yep.
exactly why they stole the holiday. The Catholic Church has records of deciding this is going to be Christmas because the pagans, mostly in the Nordic areas and in England and Ireland and all of those, they wouldn't convert because this is like one of the biggest holidays of the year for them. So they said, "Hey, we have a big holiday too."
Except Iceland. Iceland converted. They took a vote and then they converted. They said, look, the bishops, these monks, all these Christian people are moving in. I think politically it would be smart for us to be Christians from now on. They said, okay, who's all for it? Me.
But they are still very not Christian. They still have a lot of very pagan practices.
So I asked the question in chat, did your parents ever try to keep you believing in Santa? And Wendy says, when I was a kid, it wasn't a big thing. We had as many gifts from the dogs and cats as from Santa. And then Tyzone said, my father, God bless his soul, played Santa to all of us until he turned 16.
Wow.
That is awesome. That is so awesome.
Oh,
Well, see, now I got to tell you something. Now, all of us are grown, and if we're all home, the presents do not get put under the tree until we are asleep, just like Santa came.
Right.
If we are all home at Christmas in our 40s and 50s, the presents still don't go under the
My
tree.
parents.
Up until I had a kid, my mom's rule was you get presents from Santa up until you have a child. I had a child and I don't get presents from Santa anymore. Now all of Santa's presents go to my kid. Of course, that means my sisters still get Santa presents and I still get socks.
Well, I love getting those kind of presents because I don't have to buy them myself. So, Superman says he caught his mom walking in with his presents. Hey, Santa.
Nice.
And then Wendy wanted to let you know that after she grew up and moved out, she bought herself a bunch of Barbie dolls, the ones that she never got as a kid.
Yeah.
So it's okay to buy yourself Barbie dolls.
I've actually been thinking about getting myself an American Girl doll. Those are like $200 dolls.
yeah.
But I have always wanted one. Like that
Girl,
and
you go
Cabbage Patch
crazy
dolls.
with the accessories on those dolls.
Oh, but I've got
Claws.
patterns to crochet for those bitches.
Uh-huh.
Just saying.
And then Superman just said, "Oh, Krampus from Grimm."
Yes.
Did you
I
watch the
love
latest
Grimm.
episode
Oh,
of Grimm?
yes, I did.
With,
Okay.
With the Legend of Krampus, which is actually based
Krampus?
on a true legend.
Okay,
so.
yes, I love Grimm. So yes, I did just watch that.
Yeah, Krampus was an evil bastard.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, my mom would still don't put the presents, but now she just gives us all a check, which I'm really happy.
That's what my mom says it every year. Just give me cash.
Yeah.
Because my mom is sort of like, she's like the person who has everything she needs.
Right.
And her boyfriend tried to buy her jewelry one year, and she took it back to the store and got something else that she wanted. because she has a specific taste and a specific style. And if it doesn't match it, she's going to take it back and get herself something else.
But
so,
as her boyfriend of 7,000 years,
Yes.
like they've been together since Jesus was a fucking
Yes.
corporal.
so this is
He should know what her style and tastes are.
well. Here's the thing. Her taste and style, especially when it comes to jewelry, especially, will change very quickly, very frequently. So she will go through the mall with you, and she'll go, "Oh, that's so pretty." Just because she says, "Oh, that's so pretty," doesn't mean she wants it.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he thought he got her something that she wanted, and she saw something else later that she wanted, and went back and got that instead.
Well, that's terrible.
So I always just give her cash.
Yeah.
You see, I like getting gift cards. Let's talk about gift giving.
I don't like gift cards.
So here's the
Really?
thing.
I like to get them, but I don't like to give them.
I'm the same way. I like gift cards from people who are, I would say, casual to more than casual acquaintances. Work related people. People, okay, we're really good friends at work, but we don't really hang out afterwards. A gift card from you, perfect, because maybe you kind of know what I like, maybe you kind of don't know what I like. You know I like to read, or you know I like to craft, so but you don't know what I have, so you would get me a gift card so I could go get what I need. That's the kind of gift I like. Now, someone like my family, if any one of those cocksuckers breaks out a fucking gift card for me, I'm going to punch them in the eyeball. Because they should know, well, I'm not, because they give me a gift card every year.
I don't mind gift cards from my family as long as it's from something that I'm going to use. If you get me a gift card to like Home Depot, I'm sorry, but how often do I go to Home Depot?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, if you're going to get me a gift card, it's pretty safe to say Barnes & Noble
Right.
or Joann's.
Right.
Right. Right.
You can't go wrong with either one of those.
And
just
don't
like
give-
yours
don't
would
give
be
me one of-
Desert Art Supplies or
I'm good with iTunes now.
iTunes,
Too.
right?
Right. And
An
where
iTunes
would mine
card?
be? Oh, also Starbucks for her.
Oh,
Starbucks. Yeah, we do
yeah.
Starbucks for her birthday usually.
Starbucks are always good for me.
Yeah. And
Uh,
where would you buy mine?
I would buy yours at Joann's, Hancock if they had one, because I know you
They do
sometimes
have
go
one.
in there.
Yes.
It's too bad Hetty's doesn't have gift cards.
That bitch is just a cunt anyway.
Well, Hetty's is so fucking expensive.
Yeah, and she mostly cares what Hetty's supplies.
I get a discount at Hetty's because I'm a stripper.
That's exactly
I
what
do.
Hetty's. That's what she orders for is showgirls and strippers. That's
what,
why
yeah,
she
they
always
have
has
all
all
that
those.
Oh, that's why
fabric,
she's got
crazy fabric.
Yeah, but you go in there and literally it's $32 a yard,
Yeah.
and I can buy the same thing in LA for $4 a yard.
Yeah.
If you
If
can
you
get to
wanna
LA
go
to
to
the
LA,
garment
right,
district,
right.
Right.
But can you buy it at Hancock's for $4 a yard?
No, not
No.
that kind. Not
Hey-
that beading and the way.
Yeah, no. So Hetty's is more of the like really fancy shit that you're gonna make costumes out of.
Yes.
Hancock is more like I'm gonna make
Utilitarian.
curtains.
Mhm.
I'm gonna recover my couch.
Very utilitarian.
Yeah, the working fabrics.
Mhm.
But Hancock has all kind of fabric.
Yeah.
They're like a Joann's, just not as much craft supplies as
Right.
Joann's has.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Joann's, Hancock, and a nail certificate.
Yeah, that would work for me.
Yeah. See, but I don't like to give gift cards to people who are my really good friends because I know what you guys like.
Right.
With the exception of you, because you're the artist who has just about everything
I
you
do
need.
have everything.
So I would get you like Desert Art Supplies or Dover Publishing because I know you like Dover. So I would get you a Dover card or something like that. But yeah, no, I know what you guys like, so I would get you something that you like.
That's right, because I think that's the point of giving gifts is thinking about the person a little bit more than normal. And when I see
And I
things,
don't want to just give something that's going to go on your shelf. Like
Right.
give you a nice little candle that's just going to sit on your shelf.
Yeah.
You know?
There was a very long period of time where she was a note taker. She would take notes on everything, and that was how she wrote her blogs. She always carried around those little moleskins.
Okay.
And so for a couple of years in a row, I'd get her a stack of like 3 or 4 of them, and they're the perfect gift for her
They
because
are.
she loves them and she's going to use them.
they fit in
Right.
my small purse because I don't carry a big purse. I carry a
Right.
little one.
Right.
So
They fit in her small purse, and then, yeah. You like to drink and get fashionable stuff, and so I think I've gotten you like coffee cups and.
I like
stuff that.
iTunes because of the apps. I usually don't buy music. Once in a while, I'll buy an album or something. Like the last album I bought was Bruno Mars.
Okay.
The last one, right? Gorilla, I think was the name of it or something. But I like the apps that you can buy. Love that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then I can always save them up for the next
I have to
year
learn
of
about
Walking
apps pretty
Dead.
soon.
You do.
Getting a new phone. I already have it. I'm just waiting for my month to. So about January the 4th, my new phone should be connected. Then I got to learn to use
We got
it.
a teacher.
I'm very mad at AT&T right now. I'm usually a huge
Well, this will
proponent
be
for
with
AT&T.
This will be with T-Mobile, my new
And
service.
I've been online searching for other mobile services because my contract is up in March because AT&T really made me mad. I was trying to figure out what to do with Mike's line. I have a family plan with my former fiance, my dead fiance. I don't even know what to say.
Just say Mike.
Mike, okay. And my bill doubled when, well, we got the iPads on it as well, so I understand that charge. But my bill doubled when he came on, and now I can't take it back to the individual price that I used to pay before I added a family thing, and I'm so mad right now.
Tell them you're leaving because of it. I guarantee they'll hack it down.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm going to.
Yeah.
I'm going to. I filled out a survey today. They sent me a survey, so.
Good.
Hey, you're listening to The Curvaceous Bounty on VegasOnNetRadio.com, streaming live at SinCityBounty.com. Video that works now. We'll be right back after this.